Hi, this is Ari, and I am creating another video. And this one will be about suicide and my suicide attempt, and how my suicide attempt led to the process of my spiritual awakening that I am going through right now. So, I have my notebook with a few introductory notes that will help keep me on track and that I want to share before I start telling my story or going in depth of the story, with the story, um, because there are some things that I feel that I should say. So I want to start by saying that this video is in no way promoting or condoning suicide. I want to say that this is just me sharing my experience about my suicide attempt that took place in June of 2015. There were some fears about me coming out about this because I was afraid that some people were going to judge me, and I thought that I was the only one going through this, and so I figured no one would understand. Um, so I'm deciding to share because right now I am taking a abnormal psychology class, and we have one of the lessons was suicide and depression, and that was the first time me hearing any other stories other than my own, and it really opened my eyes and mind about the topic and the fact that I wasn't alone, and a lot of the things that these other people were going through that had attempted, or the friends shared of the people that attempted and actually succeeded in their suicide, um, really showed me that it's very common what is going on in the mind of a person that is severely depressed and suicidal. So I feel that I want to be able to talk about it because just having another resource that maybe people who are suicidal can come and look at and hopefully make a difference. I also decided to share because there are a lot of things on social media coming out right now about suicide. I know that it is a new show on Netflix called 13 Reasons Why. I haven't got around to it because I have been so busy with school and stuff, but I do plan on watching it pretty soon. And the couple that just committed suicide within this past week. So I feel that I'm feeling the urge to speak out about my experience. Um, and I know that this subject is very taboo, but I feel that it needs the most acknowledgement because many people die from suicide, what I have learned in my mental health class. And I am not here to bash my family or blame anyone for what I went through. And I will get into that later on in the video. And I am here to shine light on the subject and share my understanding and my story. So I'm gonna get to the story, and I was hoping to make this video pretty short. I will try to make it as short as possible because I know that a lot of people have a short attention span, and so I don't want to lose the audience. So I will try to stay concise and as accurate but as thorough as possible. Okay, so in June of 2015, I had my own apartment. I had a little studio, and I tried to commit suicide by hanging myself on the back of my bathroom door, like the little hook that you put your towel on or something. And I have tried to commit suicide before that time, one time before that time, and I was suicidal for a lot of the times in my life. Now, my background, once again, I'm saying I'm not here to bash anyone because I know that we all put ourselves into this life and we choose the life that we need at the moment to get us closer to God, Creator, Allah, whatever people want to call the Creator or Source. So I choose to say God, I feel that it doesn't matter what title you put on it because it doesn't change the qualities of it. So it doesn't matter what we say it is, whether we call it a he or a she. It doesn't change what it is. So I prefer also to use he, and I feel that it will also help the reach the audience. So, if you prefer using she, use she. If you prefer using Allah or source or creator instead of God, feel free. So, I want to go into the background. So, yes, growing up, I feel that I was abused physically, mentally, verbally, emotionally. So, I feel that I had developed this lower sense of self, of who I was. I always saw myself as a failure. I always was my own worst critic. I was very critical on myself and blame myself for everything. And just even if I made a little mess up, I would be like, "Oh, you are horrible. You ain't ish. You can't do nothing right. You ain't gonna be nothing. Can't nobody love you," because my father died when I was 3 years old, and since I'm the only child, and it was just me and my mother, so with the way I felt that my mother was treating me, I felt that I couldn't be loved. So, and then a lot of the times, my other family members wouldn't want to get in between of me and my mother's drama because they didn't want to be in the middle of the drama. So I felt like I couldn't really reach out to my mother's side of the family, and with my father's side of the family, I didn't really have a phone. So I couldn't really reach out to them. And I was afraid. I was afraid to reach out to people in fear that my mother would hurt me worse, or that I would get to somebody but they wouldn't be able to help me, or I was just afraid of, I guess, being homeless or orphan. Like I felt like being with my mother was better than me being a ward of the state. So, which was probably true. I don't know. But I was very afraid to speak out about it. So I kept a lot of my feelings inside and bottled up, and I had no way of expressing it. So, and I was afraid that, that someone would take me from my mom. And I love my mom, and, I still love my mom. And I know that she did the best that she could do. And which is why I'm not blaming her, because I chose my mother, my father, my life. Before I came into this life, I chose what I needed to go through to get me closer to the Creator. And I am so grateful and appreciative that I did choose this life, choose my mother, choose my father, choose my family, choose everything that I went through in life, because I am who I am today because of what I went through in my life. And so I'm not angry about any of that. If anything, I'm very appreciative and very grateful. So, me having that view of myself, and then me not having a father, I always looked for males to love me, and I wasn't getting that. I wasn't getting the love I guess I wanted from my mother, and I couldn't get the love at all from my father. So, and I didn't have any siblings, so I just felt like trapped and alone. And so, the first time I tried to kill myself was with pills. I had took like a whole bunch of ibuprofens. I can't remember, like 25 or something. And like I had took like 10 sleeping pills. I had drunk some Theraflu, disgusting. And I went to sleep, wrote me a little note under my pillow. I was just waking up throughout the night, and I was just feeling real sluggish and like just like heavy, and I just didn't like it. I didn't go to the hospital. I didn't get drained. I never even came out about it. I woke up the next morning, balled up the piece of paper, and threw it away, and never spoke about that either. And then, I would frequently say, like, when I was in a relationship and a guy would hurt me, or like he would try to leave, I'd be like, oh, I'm about to kill myself, or, you know, if you leave me, I'm gonna die, or I'm gonna try to kill myself. And that's not me, in my opinion, that's not a good way, because you're holding somebody by trying to make them feel guilty. You're trying to use guilt to secure a person. And I could never truly kill myself over a guy, because I had so many other things going wrong in my life that I was just like, I could never, me personally, I know I was using that just so they wouldn't leave. I knew I wasn't really going to kill myself over that particular reason. But yeah, so 2 years ago, I had, okay, so what I've learned in my mental health class is that there are triggers. So there are long-term triggers, and then there are short-term triggers. So long-term triggers of suicide is like a chronic illness that has been going on for some time, abuse in a relationship, and short-term triggers are like recent loss of a loved one, divorce, just you lost your job, a breakup, something very recently. So I feel that with my story, I had long-term triggers of the abuse from my parent, and then the short-term trigger that happened that day was the breakup with a boyfriend I had. And yeah, so that day, so that day I was working at Walmart, and then I hated Walmart. I hated working for Walmart. Like, it was the worst job ever. And I had like a 15-minute break, and I called him, and I was like, you know, hey babe, you know, what's up? I'm on my 15-minute break. He was like, yeah, I'm just calling you to let you know that I've been thinking about some things. And I'm like, you know, what you been thinking about? You could let me know or whatever. And he was like, you know, I was thinking about moving with my brother. And I was just like, and now his brother stayed in Indiana. And I'm just like, you know, if I stay here, like, how are we going to make this work? And he was like, you know, that's what I wanted to say. Like, I think that we should break up. Instantly, tears just started. I'm like, why? Why do you want to break up? Now, this is my 15-minute break at Walmart. So I'm just like, so confused. Like, I have to go back to work knowing my man just broke up with me. And like, it's only 15 minutes. So you like breaking up with me, getting off the phone. And like, this is too much. And I hate Walmart. So it was just a lot. Plus, I was also taking a summer class at a community college. I was getting like a C in that class. So I was, of course, with the whole failure thing. I was beating myself up about that. I hated Walmart. My man is breaking up with me. And I didn't have a car, so I didn't have time. It was just a lot of things going on right then. I was trying to do a lot, and I felt like I wasn't getting anywhere. And then he was just like, you know, I don't love you. I can't love you. And so this was just like the main thing that I've battled with all my life. And I was like, what you mean you don't love me? Like, what? Like, what happened? Like, just from last night, we was cool. And he was just like, you know, you don't love yourself. And I was like, what you mean I don't love myself? I love myself. Like, and I'm just going off on him. And he was like, okay, I gotta go. I can't talk right now. They're calling me back to work. So I was just like, what you mean? So then his brother calls me. My brother told me to call you, and me and his brother was talking about it for a little bit before I had to go back to work, and he explained a little bit more of what happened. And I don't blame my ex-boyfriend at that time either, because I understand, because of what he went through, I understand why he wanted to go and move with his brother. I don't blame him for that. And I also understand the fact that he tried. And I think that's what hurt me the most at that time, because I know that he tried. and it just didn't work. So that hurt me, and I was just like, okay, well, F it, I'm killing myself. Like, I know he tried, and, he still couldn't love me. And, what he said was true, though. Like, I didn't love myself. And it's hard. I wouldn't say it's not hard for a person to love you when you don't love yourself, because even people that don't love themselves or don't respect themselves, I still extend respect. I still extend love. But I'm saying, a lot of us aren't really truly unconditionally loving ourselves. So if you already are battling that within yourself, it's going to be hard to extend that love to someone else who also doesn't have it within themselves. So that's what I gained from that situation and that experience. So I don't remember even if I finished the whole shift. I can't even remember. I know it was early when I went home. I didn't call anybody. I was supposed to meet up with with one of my friends, and I didn't meet up with them. They called my phone, didn't answer, got on the bus, went home, decided I got an infinity scarf, and I had been thinking about suicide a lot of the times before that, and that's why my ex-boyfriend had got with me initially, because he was my ex-boyfriend before, and then we broke up, and then I called his phone crying one time, and he just was like, I got with you so that you wouldn't do anything stupid, and as he tried to, like, love me and show me that he loved me, he seen that he couldn't, and so that's when he broke up with me. So that's why I'm not mad at him, or I couldn't blame him, because he tried, and he seen that, okay, well, she needs love, so let me try to give it to her. And when he seen that he couldn't give it to me, it was just like, it's too much for me, I guess, and, I gotta cut it off. I gotta do what's best for me. So, good. But yeah, that's what happened while we ended up getting together in the first place. And so, after that, yeah, I had came home, I was crying the whole time, because I've learned that people who, and I knew this myself, but in other situations, I see that, when a person is suicidal, they don't really want to kill themselves. They just think it's better than life, what they're going through in life. So, he was just like, well, so yeah, right. I came home and got the infinity scarf, and I was just crying the whole time, and then I went into the bathroom, put the infinity scarf around my neck, put it around a hook, and I had like a tote. I emptied the tote, stepped on top of the tote, and then I kind of hung off the tote a little bit to make sure that the hook could hold me, like it wouldn't break, because I wanted this to be final. Like, I didn't want this to, like, mess up or anything. So, it seemed like it could hold me, so I'm crying. And I thought the whole time, like, I just want to be with my dad. That was another thing I was thinking, like, I want to be with my dad. I want to be with somebody that I know that loves me. And that was another motive for me wanting to kill myself, because I thought I'd be with my dad on the other side. So after I stepped off, I don't really remember struggling. And basically, it was just like maybe like a few, like, and then it was just black. And then it reminded me of like one of them picture things that when you was a kid and you would flip through them, and it would just be like the pictures that go through, and it's like the roll, and it would just roll the pictures through. That's what it reminded me of, and it was like fast, and it was just like blue, 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 blue. Like, it was like all these memories coming back, and it was just like I was so aware of everything. I knew everything, but I can't tell you that right now because I don't remember what I remember, but I know I remembered everything. So, and then after that happened, it was just like, I felt like I was in heaven, or I saw heaven, because I felt whole. I felt like it was just like love radiating through me. Like, it was awing. And I don't want to describe it, because even me trying to describe it is an understatement, because it's not nothing you can ever describe. It's not nothing you can put into words. It's just an experience that you have to have. So, yeah, it was just like wonderful. It was like bliss, ecstasy, peace, joy, love, happiness, like all the good things. And I felt complete. And then I came outside my body, so now, or whatever. I came out, and I'm in my bathroom, and it looks like the filter sepia, like um the little, I hope that, okay, yeah, the little like brown thing, because my computer just went on lock. The brown picture filter. And then I was like, okay, this is my bathroom. Like, okay, so it worked. And then it happened fairly quickly. And this light started coming towards me, and I'm like, oh, this is the light that people are talking about. And then it felt like a big punch, like a man punched me in my face. And next thing you know, I'm on the side of my toilet, and because I fell, and I'm gasping. It felt like the wind had got knocked out of me. Like I couldn't breathe. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know where I was. I didn't know what was going on. I was completely like dumbfounded, and I'm just like like just panicking. And when I'm kicking, I'm sweating, and I heard something clink, clink, clink against the floor. So since I'm so aware, what is that? I'm asking all these questions to myself, like, what is going on? And I heard, and then I seen it, and I picked it up, and I was just like, and that's when it clicked. It started clicking. And also when I came back, like when I first came back, it was completely white. Like I couldn't see anything. It was like when you bump your head on something, and then your vision goes away, and then everything manifests back into your vision. That's kind of how it was. Like my sink started slowly coming back, my toilet started slowly coming back, my lights in my bathroom, the shower started coming back. It was just like manifesting. And this is what made me start to reevaluate this thing we call life in reality. So then I thought about it. I'm like, oh, I tried to kill myself. Oh, girl, Ari, breathe. Like, I'm taking the sweat off. I'm like, now I'm really trying to like breathe. And when I got my breath together, yeah. But other than that, I think I'm gonna just stop right there. But yeah. So I was in a lot of pain afterwards, and I know that suicide is not the way to go about life. And after that, it really made me like look up out of body experiences. Like I wanted to know what that was. What did I see? Like what did I experience? Like what was that? Like I want to get to that again, but I don't want to die. Like I don't want to die. So, and that's why I came across this book called The Disappearance of the Universe by Gary R. Renard. And that book started the process of changing my life, like spiritually, mentally. And I am so grateful, and I know that nothing is a coincidence. Everything happens for a reason, and I was meant to have that experience, come back, look into life about that, Google about that, and Siri, I'm not even talking to you. This is just the crazy thing. Like, how did that even happen? And I started reading that book, and it started telling me about love, because I knew at that moment that what my ex said at that moment when he broke up with me was true. I didn't love myself. And that made me feel like I have a purpose. I'm like, I have a purpose. Like, I got to, because I literally just tried to kill myself. Nobody stopped me. Nobody took me off the hook. The hook just simply broke. So I'm just like, okay, I know I don't love myself, but I don't know where to start. I know that I have a purpose here. So that made me feel a little bit better about life, because I'm like, okay, I know I have a purpose, because I just gave my all to this thing, and it just failed on me. So it wasn't my time. And so I feel like maybe, I don't know, I'm still trying to find my purpose, but I do have a gist that it is to uplift humanity, and it is to share my experiences and talk about things that a lot of people don't want to talk about or are afraid to talk about, so I really want to, be the change and be the example and make a difference and, make the world a better place. And it's all based off your thoughts and the thoughts you have about life and your experiences. And ever since that time, I started the process of changing my life and started the process of self-love by reading spiritual books and opening my mind. And my life did a complete 180. I am not the same person I was 2 years ago. So I just want to share my story, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and gained something from it. And If you guys would like for me to talk more about my life and my experiences, subscribe to my channel. And peace, love, and happiness.